Hello, and thank you so much for being here with me today to listen to this new energy update that covers the period between the 12th of August to the 11th of September 2026. If you're new here, my name is Anna and I'm a professional intuitive. Every month, I like to do these energy readings of the collective energies that are present here on Earth. As always, this is not a prediction, this is a tool for awareness, for transformation. I will talk about certain images that I see, certain colors and their meaning. What speaks to you was meant to reach you today. If you watch this at a later time, you may likely get something different out of it. All right, let's begin. The energies of this month really gravitate around this one central topic. The first one, which is about softness and vulnerability. And I really got the sense that everything that is happening in this main theme, that we've really been building up to this for the last couple of months or maybe even years. This felt really, really big and really important. So what I saw here was a beautiful tulip color. It was a tulip flower. It was this beautiful pink, light pink with a hot pink or a magenta color, and also with some white, and it was very bright. I got the word incandescent. This flower, this tulip, was coming towards me and it felt like it was presenting itself to me. And in this moment, I got the word opportunity, like we're being presented with an opportunity. I then got the words softness, vulnerability, the wounded feminine, the wounded heart. I also saw a bit of green in there, which represented the heart chakra. And I also got this sense of resilience and later of this sheer power, which we're going to talk about in topic number 2. So what this means is that we're being presented with an opportunity to change our relationship, to change the way that we relate to the softness, the vulnerable parts inside of us. Topic number 2. This one is about power. So what I saw around this beautiful tulip was this magenta aura all around it. And as I went in to explore what this energy meant, I just got this feeling, this sense of sheer absolute power. I think that as we shift our relationship, as we start to relate differently to those soft, vulnerable parts of us, we start to tap into our true power. I think that a lot of us have been told that there's these parts of us that are too much or too weak or unacceptable, and we've suppressed them. But I think that those are actually the essence of tapping into our true power. They are parts of who we really are. And if we go through the layers of conditioning and allow ourselves to feel, to explore, to feel vulnerable, to feel soft, to feel weak, to explore these parts of ourselves. So the way that we relate to them, instead of pushing them away, allowing them, letting them be. For example, while I was making my coffee earlier, I spilled it all over the counter, and I thought to myself, my instinct was to be like, you're so clumsy, But then I was like, wait, this is because whenever I film something, whenever I make a video, that topic is usually going to show up in my life. So I'm like, okay, I should relate differently to what I consider to be a weakness, like clumsiness. And so I just kind of embraced it. So the way that we relate to these parts of ourselves really allow us to tap into our true power. And what I saw next really just gives me goosebumps. What I saw next was the effects of this true power. So of course it shifts us completely, but it doesn't just shift us, it shifts those people around us. And not just the people, but it shifts our environment. It's like, when you throw a pebble in the water and you see the waves, right? I saw it like waves, and what I saw was how it affects everything: nature, trees, flowers, animals. This is a healing power that somehow affects everyone around us and our environment and the nature. Again, I get goosebumps. It is so powerful. Topic number 3. This one is about our capacity to hold space for softness and vulnerability. So what did I see here? So we have this main magenta, light pink, white tulip. Around it we have this magenta aura, which represents power. And what I saw here was on the ground were smaller pastel purple indigo tulips. So what I felt here was a calm, peace, silence, similar to that feeling at night when everyone's kind of just drifting off to sleep. And if you're someone that's sensitive to energy, you will relate to this. It just feels like can finally breathe, like we can finally exist. And at first I wasn't sure how to interpret this. Is this simply an effect of shifting our relationship to softness and vulnerability, or is it a supporting element of it? But really, it is both, of course. So when we're always bracing, when we're in survival mode, there is no way that we will allow for softness and vulnerability because it is seen as a threat. However, when there is this environment of calm and peace, we can invite softness and vulnerability, and we can shift the way we relate to it. And there is this supporting energy around us right now. And one thing that you could do to really tap into this, to create this sort of environment, was, this is what I got, was to reduce the noise. Whether this means physically reducing the noise in your environment, which is something that I really related to personally. I don't know why, but lately loud noises have really been bothering me. I've even been considering buying earplugs just to wear, like even in the tube in London. Sometimes it gets really, really loud and disturbing, to be honest. Or to simply reduce the noise in terms of digital noise, social media, screen exposure, whichever one of those speak to you, to create more silence, more space in our life. And of course, at the same time, the more we do this, the more we allow for softness and vulnerability in our life, we also create more capacity for us to hold stress, anxiety, to be able to support these things in the face of adversity. Topic number 4 is about installing new software, so new beliefs and ideas about the topic of softness and vulnerability. So as we are making a big shift into our life, like shifting our relationship to softness and vulnerability, there are different aspects to us that will react to this, that will shift to this. And earlier in topic number 3, we talked about our nervous system. So that is one layer, which is a more of an emotional bodily layer. Now in topic number 4, we're talking about a mental layer. So we're talking about our thoughts, our beliefs, and with this shift, we're being invited to be more mentally flexible, to be more mentally open to new ideas about softness and vulnerability. So if you feel curious or drawn to explore certain books or articles, or to talk to new people that perhaps you weren't interested in before, allow yourself to explore that. Don't retreat into your old ways, into what you know. Instead, explore these new curiosities. So you're going to be invited to shift your ideas about how you hold softness and vulnerability. So I'm going to give you a list of some beliefs that are in the collective psyche. If any of them speak to you, then maybe this is something that you would like to focus on. All right, so softness makes me weak. If I am vulnerable, I will be hurt or taken advantage of. To be safe, I need to stay in control. To be respected, I need to be strong, composed, and unaffected. My needs make me a burden. feeling deeply makes me less capable. Resting is being lazy. Needing support means I'm not independent. Being emotional makes me irrational. If I open my heart, I risk losing myself. Being gentle means I will not be taken seriously. I have to harden to survive. If any one of them spoke to you in particular, I would take it and see how that lives inside of you and explore it. Explore how you may shift your beliefs around that topic and what effects that may have in your life. And if you are willing to be vulnerable, share with me one of them that you want to focus on or shift your beliefs about in the comment section below. And I will reply to you with whichever one I want to focus on right now. Topic number 5, which is my absolute favorite. So topic number 5 is about autonomy and authority. So what I saw here coming from the main central tulip, the pink with the hot pink and the white, was another one that was coming from the same stem. It was a dark royal blue one mixed in with a little bit of black. So what this means, the black is other people's thoughts, beliefs in your energy field. So we have given power, authority to other people to dictate how we get to experience our reality, how we get to experience and live our life. So softness is a weakness, is an idea that we got from someone else, and we got to experience life through that thought, right? Through that belief, or whatever the belief may be for you. That being too much is a weakness, or being, whatever it is for you. And we have given authority, power to someone else. And now we have an opportunity to take back our power, to give authority to ourselves, and to shift those beliefs. So you want to empower something like softness is power. And another really cool thing that happens as we take our authority back is that authority creates permission. When authority lived outside of us, we were constantly asking, is it okay for me to feel this way? Is this weak? Is this too much? Is it okay to need this? But as authority moves inwards, you can say, this is what I feel. You give yourself that permission because you have the authority. And now let's talk about autonomy. I actually looked this word up, although I do know what it means. I felt like I needed a deeper understanding of it. So this word comes from the Greek word autonomia. I would have thought this is a Latin word. Maybe it's a Latin word too, I don't know. And it comes from two words, autos and nomos. Autos means self, and nomos means law or governance. So it's self-law or self-governing. Autonomy means to be self-governing. This gave me a much deeper understanding of it. And what happens when autonomy comes in is that vulnerability no longer becomes exposure. So when you're vulnerable, you're exposed, and therefore someone else determines what happens to me. But with autonomy, where I'm self-governing, I'm open, but I remain responsible for myself. So with autonomy also comes a self-responsibility. When you are autonomous, you're responsible for yourself, and therefore being vulnerable is no longer being exposed, it is simply being open. What this dark royal blue really brings is the inner structure for us to be soft and vulnerable. With authority, we have the permission, we can give ourselves the permission without seeking it from the outside. And with autonomy, we have the self-responsibility, the self-governing, to go from feeling exposed to simply being open, because we are responsible for ourselves. And now for the tarot cards section. The first card that I drew was the Seven of Pentacles. And there is this very kind of earthy feeling to this card. And it also makes me think of someone that is looking at the fruits of their labor. And I think that for us, it really is about inner work. That's the kind of labor that it is pointing towards. And I think this card is really asking us to be aware of what it is that we are cultivating in our life. And now for the second card, we have the Sun. So the Sun represents power, which is what we've talked about all throughout the video. It also represents life force. And in our reading, it also represents self-love. So the more you allow yourself to open your heart and invite these soft, vulnerable parts of you, the more your true power starts to shine through. And by true power, I mean your life force, your true self shines through. And you get to live your life. You get to be authentically you in this life. And this has extreme effects on you and those around you and the whole environment, like we discussed before. And so to really wrap everything together, the more we give love, the more we allow and hold space for these soft, vulnerable parts of us, which are a part of who we truly are, the more we start to get back our power, the more we start to gain autonomy and authority over our life, the more we get to be ourselves, and the more we heal, the more others heal, the more nature heals. I think this is such an important moment in time for us to live through these amazing experiences, and what a blessing it is to be alive. Thank you so much for sharing this space and these moments with me. I really, really appreciate you. If you're interested in intuitive readings or intuition support sessions, that is something that I offer, and you can find out more about that in the description box below. I will see you next time.